Hey, we are live. And you know the drill. I need to know if I can see. I need to know if you can see and hear me. You know the drill. While I get the IG going, let's get IG going to make sure they can see the screen. But I just want to make sure that we are broadcasting. Let me open up on my Facebook page. Okay, so we're live over there. Let me post there, hit post here, and pin it so that it doesn't go anywhere. All right, I think we're good to go. I think I got it all set up. But I need to know on Facebook or in YouTube, can you see and hear me? Because I'm broadcasting through StreamYard. I know, and so hey, Dr. Tawana, I know Instagram. Is that my brother clicking on live? I can't believe my brother. Say hey to me, bud. But you ain't gonna be interested. You ain't gonna stay long. All right, so this is NEWSJACK City, where we talk headline hooks to get you booked. I am TJ Mercer, and I am known as the walking exclamation point and the chief noisemaker of Media Mavericks Academy. Danielle says, hey, Tej, I need your energy tonight. I'm sad, this country. Yeah, I'm trying to shake it off, Danielle, because I got a job to do for this right here. I got a job to do. But I teach authors, experts, coaches, and entrepreneurs how to book themselves in the media without a publicist and without being a celebrity. And so every Tuesday since April, I have been going live and talking about newsjacking. And if you're new and catching the replay, newsjacking is the art of inserting yourself into the media by hijacking something that has happened, a current event, a new social media trend, or something like that. Who's saying, hey, my TJ? That's my Facebook user. Y'all know you have to identify yourself for me over there because I don't see your name. All right, so this one actually is going to be quick because I forgot that I actually am going to, hey, Tara, I'm actually going to a screening of Bel Air tonight, the show Bel Air, and it's a whole big event. I went to the This Is Us screening on Sunday and saw the series finale. I'm not going to ruin it for those of you who are fans of This Is Us. Oh, wait, I was going to show y'all something. Hold on. Stay right there. I'll be right back. I'm going to get it real quick. Hold on. I'm coming. Hold on. I'm coming. Hold on. I'm coming. I'm coming. Okay, so when we go to these events, they're called FY. I didn't say it, but my TJ got it. When we go to these events, they're called FYC screenings. And it's the campaigns that networks and studios do to get their projects looked at for the potential of being nominated for Emmys and whatnot. So when we go to these elaborate experiences, like I surprised my client Kelly and took her to see Harlem, and it was just an amazing experience. They had food and everything. And so this time when I went to see This Is Us, they actually gave us boxes that was like filet mignon, and I didn't eat mine yesterday. And I haven't really looked at it, but this is kind of what they looks like. And the last time I went to the This Is Us screening, they gave us these beautiful lunch boxes. And I typically always give my stuff away, but I can't give this away because it's food. But I'm not a fan of This Is Us because it make you cry too much. The writing is superb, but it made me cry too much. And it makes me sad, and it just takes me into a different headspace. So I typically don't go to This Is Us. And so for those of you who are fans, let me just say I cried all the way through the series finale. And I don't know nothing about the show, really, the storylines and nothing. So if I was crying, y'all know, get your tissues ready for tonight. And was that it that I need to set up for newsjacking? But I was saying that this one is not going to be really long because I'm going to the screening for Bel Air with the cast and everything tonight, and I underestimated where it was. So what you laughing at, Danielle? What I say that you busting out laughing for already? But I forgot where it was and underestimated my time. So I need to get there about 6:15, 6:30. So that means I got to newsjack and dash. Okay. So let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. Is there anything else? Oh, and I was supposed to actually post to you guys, for those of you who are fans, I am going to post the videos I took about the panels. What I really want to say is what I found fascinating for those of you who are fans. It's Emily. Hi, my Emily. So what I did find intriguing and fascinating was the fact that they knew going into when they did the show that it was only going to be 6 seasons. They had planned it out. And they actually shot the series finale episode, the very last episode. They actually shot the series finale in season 3. At the top of season 3, I believe he said they shot the series finale, meaning they had to know what their show was. They had to know the end. And if you've ever heard me teach about speaking or even media, I always say start at the end and reverse engineer your story. It pulls right into that. Hey, Nadine. So it pulls right into that. Like they had, in order to shoot the last scene, because what they were saying is they were concerned about the kids growing up. And so they shot it. So you have to know the end of your story for then everything that you do to be reverse engineered from that part. Hey, my Cheryl. From that point on, I thought that was brilliant. And also what I love about the show that I don't even watch it, but when the 2 episodes I've seen have both been at screenings, is that it is such a well-written show. And like I said, the only reason why I don't watch it is I don't like stuff that make me cry all the time. I need to have shooting and action and car chases and explosions and whatnot. So I'm not going to, I can't take that in. I need to stay happy and that kind of stuff. Especially when my timeline blows up, y'all talk about all day, y'all in tears over this show. So, hey, Ulysses. And so I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, so let's get to it so that I can get out of here. I'm taking one of my media mavericks with me tonight to the screening of Bel Air with the cast, and I'm actually very excited about that because I love Bel Air. I love how they rebooted that show, and I'm curious about what the experience is going to be. I'm gonna take pictures and videos and do all of that. And if do I have fans of Bel Air? Do I need to be concerned about like recording what the cast says during the panels or whatnot? Y'all interested in that? I need to know because I really sometimes go to these things because I know I have y'all who love this stuff. So Tara says I want to see that. Okay, so I'll be attending with you in mind, Tara, of what you want to hear the cast talk about. All right, so I'm going to share my screen for real now, for real. Okay, so this isn't the one I wanted to. Let's just, talk about, before I talk about this one, let's just get into the what's obvious. By now, we all know what has happened in our country today. And just in case, you have been on media lockdown and you Tara said I can catch a flight and meet you there real quick. Tara, didn't I take you to something? What did I take you to? when you actually flew to LA, where did we go? We went to something. I forget what I took you to. But what we, know is that there was another school shooting, and to my knowledge of the last count was 14 babies. 14 babies lost their lives, and one teacher, I believe. And this is one of those that, I have a hard time with. And for my experts, what comes to mind immediately is to put yourself out there to help parents cope with how to explain this to their children. And we've talked about this before, but you have to, you got to put your stuff out there and pitch. If you have expertise in helping these babies cope, if you have expertise in how parents can help the classmates of the children, the classmates that survived, to explain this to them and to help them deal with any survivor's guilt or anything they need to help these babies not walk around with fear of going back to school. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So if that's your lane of genius, I really need y'all to be out there talking. Because how do you explain this? How do you have this conversation? And kids are good for asking the why. Why? So yeah. Okay. So that's all I'm having to say about that. Okay. All right. See, I told you this is why this kind of stuff is hard, but I had a job to do and I need to make sure I equip you guys. Daniel says CNN is saying 18 kids now plus the shooter. Okay. 14 children. Okay. Thinking of presenting to news platforms offering empathy circles for the community. Yes, Cheryl, that's right up in your lane. Tara says help parents continue to feel comfortable sending their kids to school. And as a parent, I know that I want to send my kids back to school. It's too many shootings. And the fact that school was supposed to be out on Thursday. So these babies, the last day of school, this is what they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. Okay, so let me get to the other stuff. Okay, shake it off, teach. Okay. So I ran across this article, and this is for my my women advocates, my doctor pals, my doctor people in my circle. This is for you. I saw this article on Yahoo, why women's pain isn't taken as seriously as men's. And so this article really broke down the things that's happening medically, but also what I also found out, okay, I'm having problems with my words, but what I also discovered in reading this article was the fact that they address Black women too, and the disparity that Black women experience in healthcare. So I would definitely, if this is your brand, one of the things that came to mind is how do we become better advocates? When we feel like this is the situation, how do we, become better advocates for our own healthcare when we find ourselves? It was talking about how, people just seem to think that Black women have a more high tolerance for pain. So whatever, if that's in your wheelhouse, that's something that you can talk about, especially if you're living in a city that has a high Black population. This would be a good pitch. But even if you're just talking about the differences between the women, let's try this again, between the women and the men, it's still it's still an issue. What's not true, Tara? What's not true? It's still an issue of the disparity and how to advocate for yourself. So that's that one. Let me see, what else did I pull up here? Oh, okay. So Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, the band Aerosmith, actually, let's get to the headline. There we go. Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler voluntarily enters rehab after relapse. And so remember, what I've taught you is that anytime something happens with a celebrity and you can, that we can take more pain than other women. Exactly. It's not true, but that's what's, it's talked about in the medical schools and things like that. And so we have to change that. We have to change that dynamic, which is why I brought this up as a newsjack. So whenever there's something that's happened in the celebrity universe that is attached to your brand, it is an opportunity really for you to newsjack. So it could be, he was, from what I understand of what I read, they were preparing to go on tour. They've had to cancel all their dates. He had foot surgery that put him on pain meds, and he had a relapse. So, you can talk about from the perspective of, things that families can do to help addicts beat, their drug habit, or is that even possible? Like, whatever your lane is regarding this, Nadine says, this is definitely an issue in healthcare that happened with my mom. Yep, I'm sure, Nadine. And you're referring back to the previous news, Jack. But with Steven Tyler, you can give your opinion on, things that causes relapses, things that how to prevent, relapse, how to arm yourself and be better prepared if you know that addiction is something that you struggle with and fight through. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. I'm bringing this to your attention again because this is I don't know why my screen is taking so long, but this was just a recent study because this article is dated May 24th. We've talked about this before, and it's still, very in the news because I'm experiencing it. The brain fog of long COVID symptoms. There has been another study that has come out that talks about, brain fog, numbness, tingling, headache, dizziness, blurred vision, fatigue. Those are things that, again, the medical field or even natural doctors can talk about, and how we can deal with this and maybe what to expect. What are best practices, for lack of a better word? What can we expect when this happens? The next one is the Wells Fargo thing that some of you, I've seen it on social media, but I just want to bring it to back to the forefront. Well, Wells Fargo once again is in hot water because they have been having fake interviews. The job has been filled, but they're still having fake interviews to check boxes when it comes to their diversity track record. I'm experiencing that as well. Brain fog is, yeah. It's really true. So for best banking practices, or if you're in the space of consumer protections, what does that look like of you protecting yourself? If you're in the DEI space, this is definitely, hey Michelle, this is definitely something you can latch on to and talk about. So Wells Fargo, from my recollection, Wells Fargo just recently got in trouble about their banking practices of declining mortgages and whatnot. And now this has come up. And at this point, I'm like, just close the whole bank. Just shut the whole bank down. It's just trash at this point. But yeah, Tara says, wow, they are notorious for mistreating our and other minority communities. So for example, that's what I'm saying. You can actually speak from it from a DEI perspective. And then, if this is your lane, if you're in the financial lane, you can actually pitch a segment around what are the best banks for Black people. Tara says, throw the entire bank away. That's what I was saying. But what are the best banks for Black people and minorities? Which banks have the best track record? And so when I'm actually talking about these newsjacks too, I'm not necessarily talking about you have to pitch the media. This is something that you should be newsjacking and informing your community, writing blog posts, writing LinkedIn posts, and just continuing to put yourself out there. Now, if you pitch, yes, this would definitely be ideal. Laz says, oh, that's good, Laz. Laz says, I would love to see something about how to easily close your account and move to other banks. Yes, that's a good one, Laz. What questions to ask, what you should be concerned about, what T's you need to cross, what I's you not need to dot, whatever that is. That's a good one. And again, if you have suggestions, I'm just bringing the headlines. I'm building a community here. I'm just bringing the headlines so that, you guys can throw out. Michelle, have you been journaling? Michelle, why are you interrupting my flow, asking me questions that you know the answer to? I have not, but I did make a commitment that when I get back to Atlanta, that's the challenge. Tara, I also need to know what your dates are again, because I just realized I may be back. I don't know. Tell me what the dates are for your event, because I forgot. But I'm going to do it when I get back to Atlanta, Michelle. I'm going to start it so I can keep doing, because if I do it while I'm here, I'm gonna probably break it. So, okay, that's a whole bunch of excuses, but I'm just going to, I'm going to just move right on. Like I don't know you, Michelle, interrupting my flow. Okay. So, what's the next one? How to talk to children. Okay. This is how I know that this is needed, because I say it every time. Today Show, did an article, and that's why I'm talking about Dream National, Act Local. For those of you who know what I teach, Dream National to get all on the national shows. But in order to do that, most times they're going to ask you about what have you done locally on the local news. So as a result, I'm saying this is the conversations. You can be pitching how to have these conversations. As a matter of fact, I just learned last Thursday during our Q&A that one of my Mavericks, who has done everything I've taught her to do on a local level, is now going to be on live with Kelly and Ryan on the 31st of Dreaming. These are the kind of things that I'm talking about. And again, y'all know I'm emotionally tied to this, so I'm talking about it in as a matter of fact tone, because I've gone into like expert coach mode. But I am not, being flippant about this. But these are the things that can help you continue to get coverage to build you for the national brand. And I love the fact that Dr. Shauna was like, I did everything you taught me to, and this is what it led to. So make sure that you take heed to what I'm saying. And then if you remember, when I first started doing these, I had a young lady named Dr. Cassandra Bowler on here, and her first pitch using newsjacking landed her on CBS. Why she just sent me a screenshot that she did it again and got booked? That's what I'm saying. Like, newsjacking really works, you guys. So there's that one. For this one, I wasn't really sure what's in here, but I feel like there's something with the parenting space. So it says Ice-T and Coco pushed their 6-year-old in a stroller, and some people are outraged. So basically the story was about people, upset and saying she's too old to be in a stroller because they were on vacation. And then you got the other side of people, like, people chill. They were at this big resort. It's hot. It's a lot of walking. So they put her in a stroller. So from the parenting's perspective, and then Coco in the same article apparently had revealed that she actually was still breastfeeding up until the daughter was 5 years old. So it's one of those things that you can, that's cute, Tara. Thank you. It's one of those things that you can come at it from both perspectives. From a parent perspective, is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? All it is that you pitch and talk about your perspective, your expertise. Yes, I said the same thing. Ice-T cannot deny that's his daughter. That baby looked like Ice-T just put his face on her. Everything you need to know ahead of the This Is Us finale. So one of the things that came up for me when I was watching the finale and I learned some of the storylines is the aspect of dementia, and all the ways you can talk about helping people cope with a parent who has dementia, because that was one of the storylines. Last episode, I don't want to give it away, but y'all know, there was something that dealt with grief. So that's an aspect of it as well, as to how families can go through grief. I would suggest that if nothing else, some of you really watch the series finale and see if there are things that I didn't even pick up in it that you can use to leverage of how to handle family dynamics, and things like that. I was showing, when it comes to things like this, if you are actively looking to put your expertise out there, I would strongly suggest that you look at like series finales and keep up with what shows are hot that you can leverage in NEWSJACK for your book and your brand. Yes, Laz, hospice care, all of those things. Okay, Tara, I got you. So make sure, it was really a good finale. Let me just say that. It was really good, and I don't watch the show, so you won't be bored. What's this one? Summer House star Lindsay Hubbard. I don't know what Summer House is, but the fact that it was a celebrity, y'all know, I leaned into it. And she's talking about her fertility journey. That could be something you NEWSJACK. Like, she's talking about freezing her eggs, or what decisions women need to make, how to educate yourself. One of my earlier clients was the attorney for Kim Kardashian and Gabrielle Union's surrogate mother. So there were, things there, the legalese of what happens in these surrogate situations. Like, whatever it is, it's a celebrity. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's a celebrity. Look into it, read into it, see if you can NEWSJACK it. And apparently, I've never heard of this show, but apparently it's a hot show because it's in season 6. So whatever it is, it's hot enough to make the Today Show website. Then there is, this is one I just want to flex and pop my collar, because I think I suggested this as a NEWSJACK 2 weeks ago. Some of you may have been on here. If you were on here and you heard me give this NEWSJACK, let people know. TJ called it, and I said when they first dropped the fact that the COVID vaccine now was going to be available for kids under 5, I suggested somebody NEWSJACK this and talk about, if you're a pediatrician, if you are dealing with kids and kids' health, that you NEWSJACK this and answer parents' questions on giving the pros and cons of whether or not to give their child the COVID-19 vaccine. Boom. Look what's on Good Morning America's website. I told y'all I suck at a lot of things, but media ain't one. I called it. Give me my props. I suggested this about 2 weeks ago when I read about it, and I was like, somebody needs to jack this. And look what happens. It's on Good Morning America's website. It does not stop you from pitching it on your local level. Danielle said it. I remember you saying it. Pop that collar, boo. So that's what I'm saying. I called it. Y'all got to listen to you, TJ. I'm telling you, I won't lead you wrong. So that's just a pop my collar moment. But if you are a pediatrician, consider pitching this on the local level of how you can educate parents on whether or not making that decision to give their kid a COVID-19 vaccine is a good idea or not a good idea. So I saw this one too. I thought this was just such a beautiful feel-good story, because I saw this one. So this 71-year-old man goes back to school, gets his degree to become a teacher. Then I also saw a story about an 81-year-old woman. So if you are into the elderly empowerment, remember I told you media loves kids and elderly. So if you are into elderly empowerment, not making it unfulfilled dreams or things to do where it's never too late. I know that there's another story floating around about an 81-year-old who just graduated. So this is something you can latch on to and use as examples. Read both of their stories and look at, the common denominator of what they did to pursue their dreams, of deciding. Like, I remember reading the 81-year-old story, and she went back to school, and then the pandemic happened, and so she ended up having to go through it all virtually and get up on tech and things like that. So there could be a segment around like how not to be intimidated of pursuing your dreams. It's never, never, ever, ever, ever too late. So I thought about that one. And then I think the last one, yes. Billy opens up about having Tourette's syndrome. I have made friends with it. Why am I sharing this with you? Y'all should know by now. A celebrity got an issue. We leverage it to talk about it. Read her story. I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not read this article. I just saw the headline right before I went to go live. So do your due diligence, like I taught you, to vet this story, get the details. But it was the headline alone that got my attention, because the celebrity is revealing something that shows, she's completely human. I know people, have Tourette's syndrome. Read what's it about, how to cope with it, how to, from a perspective, this is still Mental Health Awareness Month, how to help, some coping mechanisms or things that, would apply for Tourette's in that article. All right. So any questions for me? That's it for today. As I said, I got a NEWSJACK and run, because I talked about this. Let me make sure this is the one. Yeah, I talked about that first. So I got a NEWSJACK and run because I got to get to Bel Air for the show, not the city Bel Air. And I'm going to count it down. Y'all can tell me if you got questions. I know I said I would have a guest, but I didn't have time to have a guest. You are most welcome, Cheryl, because I knew I had to get out and get this done. So, so Dr. Tawana says, TJ called it. I did, Dr. Tawana. All right. So in 10, 9, 8, 7, any questions? Have fun at the Bel Air event. I will. I'm going to take pictures and tell y'all all about it. Where was I? 6, 5, Michelle, I'm going to journal. 4, thank you, Michelle. 3, 2, 1. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.